I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Stop. Okay, cool. Excellent. So anyway, my name's Kelly Wood, and so one of the things I did last semester, and I started doing it at the end of the semester before that, and then I did it for the whole semester, was I would record class lectures, so all I'm recording is audio and the screenshots. And then I put them on YouTube. And that way somebody missed class, I was like, it's on YouTube, watch it, ask me questions, right? Somebody wanted to go back and review something. I'm like, go watch it again. Ask me questions, anything like that. Didn't happen, but if there happened to be any trouble, I could have said, well, let's go to the video. I don't know. So I started doing this, and Maria she's right across the hall from me, and I'm sure, those moments when you're like, oh, Kelly's recording, I'd be turning it down, right? Because sometimes I'd want to edit off a little bit or something. But anyway, so I really like it. And how many of my students really watch these? Not a lot of them. But, one of the things is, of course, learning how to integrate that more. So I'm really trying to make it more, say, look, they're here, don't forget. Show it in class more and say, don't forget, you need to go back and just review the 15 minutes I did on commas last time I teach English. So, that's commas, right? Go do that. Go back and do that. And I'm going to try to point them to it more in notes and say, go back and review that lecture. It was on this day. Go to YouTube. So I started doing it, and I really like it. It's not that hard. There's a little learning curve, and everything I know about computers, from how to turn one on to how I maintain my own website. Everything I've taught myself. And with the internet, really, you ask YouTube and people show it to you, right? You don't even have to read words. I like reading words, but anyway. So I'm sorry about this projector. It is kind of blurry, but we'll figure it out. So there are a couple of reasons to do this. One is, like I mentioned before, it's there, it's that record. But you can also flip the classroom, because you can use this either doing classroom lecture, which I do a lot, or just sitting down. The other day, I sat down and did a screenshot video with the audio on how to format an APA style paper using the word template. And boom, did that, popped it up on YouTube. It's one of the readings in my syllabus. So you can have students watch lectures, you can have them, and then when they come into class, you'd be doing more hands-on stuff. So that's the idea behind and what was funny was when I was putting together my schedule, I was like, oh, I need to show them how to do that. I don't have time on that day. I'm looking at everything. And I'm like, Kelly, why'd you spend an hour working on that video and redoing it 3 times? It's like a 10-minute video, 3 times, yeah. And I was like, oh, and I put it on their readings right there, just like that. But there are some other things, and again, blurry. Let me see if I make this a little smaller, it'd be easier to read. There is, I do have this online, so you can always go back and take a look at it later too. But there were a couple of other things that didn't help. Oh, well, I'll just tell you about them. One was to review, right? Students whose first language is not English. I know when I get going, I speak very, very quickly. And if anybody speaks to me in Spanish very, very quickly, I'm like, despacito. Oh, wait. Yeah. But it's Luis Fonsi. I love, Bieber, whatever. Okay. So that's a really good thing. They can go back, listen again. I had one of the other things I thought was, different styles of learning. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a good thing. But one of the other things I thought about casually, but not as straightforward, students with disabilities, whether it's hearing or whatever it is, right, to be able to go back and review it. So overall, there are a number of different reasons to do it. Now, here's the process, what I do. And when I was working on this 2 or 3 days ago, I was struggling. I'm like, how am I going to get everything in? And I'm like, Kelly, you're not teaching them how to do it. If we were doing that, we'd have had 2 hours and we'd be hands-on in the computer lab. Slow down, Kelly. You're just showing what you do. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here's what I do, and I'm going to show you the tools I use, the software I use. Now, I bring my laptop into class because you cannot download all this software. It's all free and it's all light. Everything I've used, as far as I know, has no problems. I'm very attuned to viruses and all that. Sign in, get candy, Angie, yeah. So, the school is like, no, you can't download anything on our computers here. So I like to come in anyway because I come into class with all of my tabs open in order, and boom, I don't have to mess with that stuff in class. So, and I put, I have my lessons up And I use iSpring, which is an app that goes in your PowerPoint that lets you put them up as, flash. So boom, they're right there like that. So this is kind of another way to have it all together. But that's one of the caveats is I carry my laptop around. So I should get insurance on that, huh? Yeah. So what I do is, of course, doing what we're doing now. I'm recording us now. Once we are done with this, I will upload this to YouTube. You want to go back, watch it, review something? It will be there for you. Now, I hate listening to my voice, and we'll listen to one of mine in just a minute. I just hate it. I'm just working to get over it, so whatever, right? I'm trying to be more like those millennials who, yeah, they got their problems, but us Gen Xers did too. Everybody does. But, there's this moment where they may be freaked out about body image, but there's also this moment where they can smile for the camera and take a selfie and not worry about it. And I think that's one of the key things too, is I don't over-obsess. The one I'm going to show you on quality from last semester, I didn't over-obsess about it. It's what it is. It's there. I did my best, right? So do that and then upload it to YouTube. You can cut, and this may be if you're doing YouTube's editor, which I have another one I'll show you that I usually before. Sometimes I forget to stop it recording after class is over and as students come up and ask me a question. That doesn't need to be on YouTube, right? So there's a nice way you can either on YouTube through their editor, or there's a free one I like that I recommend. We can cut that off. And then, we'll be in the middle of talking and they're talking about their kids and why they couldn't this, that. And I'm like, oh, stop, right? And so I go before, that's why Maria gets to hear my videos. I'm like, oh no, back that up, cut that off, right? And then of course, you want to have a place that you share it. And I use Blackboard in all my, I taught online for years and years. I only teach face-to-face now. But I use Enhance, so I use Blackboard for the grade book and announcements and quizzes. And I always put a link on there to that. And I've got it together enough, since this is the second and a half semester I'm doing this, right? That this semester, all my syllabi will already have, here is the link to the YouTube playlist for our class. So that's kind of nice. And that's basically it. So here's an example from last semester. And last semester, okay, I got this fancy mic. I feel like I'm all on TV and everything, man. Like, okay, yeah. Last semester, I just recorded the audio off my laptop. I didn't even use a microphone. And so when I was over here by the laptop, you could hear it very clearly. And then I'd walk over here and do this and that, and you could hear me some. And I told students, it's not perfect, but it's there. And I didn't worry about it. And then I just, we all have those little things we like, right? What's your thing? My thing is technology and ways to make coffee. I can make coffee like 7 different ways, literally, just in my house. So I'll show you what it ends up looking like. As mortified as I'll be. Here, let me move this back a little bit. Oh, we don't have sound. This is why we need sound. You know what? Here, let me just do this. I can use 2 computers at once. Oh, Internet Explorer. What unholy world is that? Y'all know what Internet Explorer is for, right? Or Edge? To download Chrome or Firefox? I want y'all to see this because I think seeing it is really valuable. So, or just that way you know what it looks like. We'll see if we can get sound out of this. I love the college computers because they are so swift, We're still waiting. White screen. I'll sing to you. Despacito. That's how we do it down in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico? What am I? Some kind of Texan? Sometimes when I get tired, I was raised on the border, so, sometimes when I get tired, I either slip into an accent, move the share, or the other way. One time I was calling roll, and I said, hey, so Jesus? I was like, oh, man. So my whole branding scheme is kelli.ninja, because in my class we're writing ninjas. Yeah. And not Kelly's baby tour. Apparently there's a Kelly who loves dolls. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look. This is the only one I left up. At the end of the semester, I go through and take them all down.
But let's
see.
Take a look.
Oh, I hate the sound of my voice.
So again, go back to always go back to the schedule.
I think that's what it is. So, I'm real smooth in class, as y'all know. So, you know, I mean, it's just getting, I'm looking at the schedule there. Later on, there's the Credible Hulk. You know, we're going through using quotation marks. So that's what it gets. There's moments where you can hear that's not as loud, right? Because I'm probably over here doing this, right? So it's there though. I tell my students last semester when I didn't have the microphone, and we'll see, this is the first run with it outside of the house, okay? I told them, I said, you know, watch it with your hand on the volume button, because whenever I'm close, it's going to be loud, and whether I'm farther away, it's going to be quiet. So, I mean, in some ways, it's kind of how much you want to invest in it. And like I said, there's a certain point where I'm very much like, well, I'm doing this thing, right, for you, and don't expect it to be perfect. That's just kind of part of what it is. So that's what it looks like. I mean, it looks like a YouTube video, except for you just have the screenshots. And so one of the reasons you want to think, you know, you'd think about doing this is if you do, and I have everything, boom, it goes on the screen. This is part of the Kelly show, right? So if you do that kind of thing, it really is valuable. You know, because the audio goes with it. So if you don't use Blackboard, and no matter what, I wanted to introduce you to tiny.cc. Anytime you need to truncate or make a shorter website, and that's on your handout. On the handout, there's a list of the tools, and tiny.cc is listed there. It's really great because you can take any long, that doesn't help because the projector's just not good. Let me go ahead and close the window again. But you can take any long URL and put it in there and get a short one so that you could even put it in, you know, up on the board in class. And you can right here, like if I put in some ungodly big URL, right here it says custom, you can just do something short. Like one of the ones that I put on the handout, I think is, I don't know, YouTube edit, or it's just YT edit, right? Well, I could write that down on my schedule or in my notes if I'm a student, and boom. So what it does is it just makes you a little link that you can give students or whatever to those things. So if you're not using Blackboard, or if you are using Blackboard, it's just nice. This one says Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. That is already. Now what I did was I took my YouTube playlist URL, which is like QR076N39 whatever, yeah, right? And I put it in there and I tried it out and it said it was available. And so now on my syllabus, it will say, here is the link to our YouTube playlist, tiny.cc. I always take out the HTTP and just put in www because most people are uncomfortable without something before that, / Monday, Wednesday, Friday, MWF, 9 a.m. So that's one of the things I use too, because that tiny.cc will, you know, shrink anything down like that. Now, one of the things, this is what I used to record last semester. So we're trying this other one, okay, today. Hope it works. What I used last semester was Electa Live. And I really like it. It is it is the most basic, and it is free, and it's designed for teachers. And so again, those are all on the tools section. It's got all the links there. And if it was long, I made a short one for you. I tinied it because, you know. Does it help with the windows closed any? Should I open it a little more so you can write? You can see. Good, good, okay. So anyway, what I wanted to show you though is it opens up and there's just a settings scene. So it says screen settings and mic settings. And I don't mess with that too much except for with the screen settings. I crank the frame rate up to as fast as I can because that's going to be clearer, okay? And the mic settings, of course, I just want it to use the default, which is either going to be the laptop or if you have something plugged in, it's going to default to that. And then you get to tell it where you want to save it. So far, man, that's all stuff we know how to do. And that disappears, and then it opens this little box, and it'll say start. Well, when you first open it, opens that box, you say new, it gives you that. And then you just say start whenever you want it to start. The only thing you have to remember is there'll be a little reel, and it'll be up here in your system tray. I'm always clicking on the icon for it up here, and then I'm like, it opens a new one, and I'm like, no, system tray. So that was the only kind of trick I had to learn about that was, like I said, I'm not using it. I'm using the other one I'm going to show you in a minute. It shows up in your system tray to open it up again and stop. Now, one of the things I do like about Electa Live is, one, it is a simple, clean interface. One of the things I like is the fact that it gives you this splash screen. So when you click start, it does a countdown, big black, whole screen's black, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then boom, it starts. And I think what I like about that is every day it reminds me and my students that we are recording. We sadly know in this last week, I mean, we are just blessed to be here in El Paso. And I wouldn't have said that growing up as a kid. I hate El Paso. I actually didn't grow up in El Paso, but I grew up close enough to hate it. Okay? But I also grew up on the border where I know there's racism. I know I don't see as much of it. I have a privilege of that. And I know there is, but not like other places. You know? And so I think it also kind of lends an air of, okay, we need to be civil because we can go to the video. Right? And that's not my primary objective. It's not. But I think it is. And it reminds, and it's kind of like, okay, we're starting, right? So what I like about Electa is that interface is simple. It's not intimidating. It's just, okay, let me tell you where I want you to save it. Start, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, countdown. And when I'm done, stop. And then boom, I can go to where it was saved and upload it or cut it, whatever I need to do, right? The things I don't like is the resolution is not as good for some things. Like when I sit down and when I did the video that I uploaded about how to format a paper in APA using the word template, and I'm showing a lot of text, the resolution isn't as clear. But overall, the one we looked at a minute ago online, that was fine, and that was done with Electa. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to use this semester. I'm going to try the other one I'm fixing to show you out. Who knows, I might go back to this one. It's simple, and I love that countdown screen because, again, it always reminds us, right? The YouTube uploads do take a little bit longer since it has to convert. That's not true, though, because there was a place in the settings that I found today, and I'm not sure if it's in the latest update. YouTube likes MP4 to do that, okay? And everything I know about this stuff, I just asked, what file format should I save YouTube stuff in, right? What's the best resolution? Ask the internet. So, the one I'm going to use, I'm going to give a try, and I'm trying out today, is this OBS. And my son, I have a millennial, a 25-year-old, 24-ish, 25, yeah, 24. I don't know how old he is. That's his job. Anyway, and he is a gamer. And I was like, so what do you use for streaming your games? You want to know anything about streaming, video capture, anything like that? You ask a gamer, okay? They know, right? And he was like, oh, use this, Mom. It's great. So open broadcast software, its screen is a little more intimidating. Kind of, there's, you know, when you open it up, it may look a little different. Basically, it has your start recording and your settings here. So again, I left most of them pretty plain. I just make sure I'm recording in the MP4 format. I tell it where I want to save it. You know how that is if you forget where you wanted to save it. So I make sure and double check where did I save it. And it's nice because you can go in and you can set up a hotkey. So for this one, I set up F9. It wasn't doing anything else on my computer, where when this is open and I press that, it starts. And then when we're done, I'll press stop and it'll stop. You know, so that's really nice in that way. I don't know about pros and cons either way because I haven't used it enough. I know it did have better resolution when I did the APA video for and uploaded it to YouTube. I also just got a new computer. So that may be the issue too, because, you know, I tend to keep things for a long time, and that other one was, and this one has, you know, it's tricked out a little more. You can come see my nice shiny red keyboard in a little while, okay? Now, sometimes I mentioned before that sometimes I'll forget to stop it and, you know, talking with the student after class, and it may be a little personal, whatever. So one of the things that you may want to do is clip it. If you're just clipping from the end, I just played with YouTube's video editor just a little bit. If you were just clipping part of the end or the beginning, it'd be nice and easy. But one of the thing I liked last semester, because there were sometimes I wanted to take some cuts out of the middle, was free video editor. Yeah, Woo, fancy name. Okay. So it's download, and it's pretty straightforward. You just drag and drop, or you can open the file here, and then these two things it tells you convert to MP3, because once you clip ends off or middle off or whatever, then it's got to resave it. So you tell, not MP3, MP4. You can see right here I've got a red dot. What's nice, here's the play, and then you can see there's a line with the scissors. So what's nice is you can move it over and to wherever you want to cut out, and you can, play, go forward, you can drag it back, and then you click the scissors because you're like, hey, I want to cut that out, right? And then you're like, oh, wait, I want to, and then you let it roll until you're like, oh, no, there's the end of it. Boom, I want to cut that out. And you have a couple of choices. It'll say split, so do you want to save it as 2 different videos, or do you just want to save over the old one and you've got rid of the stuff you don't need, those were the only kind of tricky thing. That was the big trick to learning how to use this one, right? And that's why I really like this one. This one is it's just easy, simple, straightforward. So in terms of recording, Electa, it's the simplest one. I found it and I fell in love with it, and I've used it to put lots of things on YouTube. And when I decided to start doing this, I used it. I'm going to try the other one, recommended by gamers, okay? And I'll see if it makes a difference. In terms of cutting this. Now, sometimes you might want to cut something out of the middle. Now, I do a media analysis essay. So there are some classes where we're playing commercials. We analyze ads. And so we're playing TV commercials all the time, right? Since we're working under education license, my understanding, and YouTube will flag you and say this copyright violation, right? But since we're working under the education license, my understanding is that's for class, and it's not going to be up there forever. I'm not making money, and a lot of them it'll say that since you're not the producer is fine with this, and if you monetize it, it'll be a problem. Well, I'm getting paid, right? I'm not making money off of this. But there are some times that it's like if I'm showing, of course I'll stop it if I'm showing a movie or anything like that. But there may be sometimes where it's like, oh, I showed a clip for something, and I'm like, I really should take that out. And so I can go in and clip it out. And that's what's nice. And in your classroom, oh, that was about 30 minutes in. I'll have it rolling and grading papers or check. Oh, stop right there. So, yeah. Did I talk over your question? Did you have a question? No? Oh, okay. First, you're first.
Have you ever contacted a producer directly, like emailed them or something, and they didn't say no? Or?
I've never asked.
Okay.
I'm the kid who was do it and say I'm sorry instead of give permission. Maybe not.
It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, I am that child. Yes, you were next. I've always heard it's better to be next.
As far as the YouTube video, yeah. What you were describing about not for profit under print media, that copyright, and exactly. I'm assuming it's for video as well as for print, that falls under what they call fair use.
Exactly.
Okay, so if it's for academic purposes,
and I always tag
that included the still photographs or clips of people's prints or a page or an essay, that sort of thing.
And I'll show you where you're going to select a category when you upload, and of course you select education. So yeah, those kinds of things. But I don't film, a whole movie, no, that's not, I don't find that fair use. Show the movie and tell the students, well, you missed class, or it's in the library or whatever, right? But this is for class. So these are really nice programs to use. The YouTube does have, and so on your, and also I have a link to this at the bottom of the handout. I'll show you that in a minute, but to this presentation itself, and then again, once we're done, I'll upload this so you can go back and listen to my horrible voice. Despacito. I just wanted to sing to you one more time. But YouTube does have a lot of help, and so this has links in the slideshow. You can just go to this and click on them, and this has links to creating a new YouTube channel, which this is YouTube, and then how to upload. So when you think about what you're going to do with YouTube, you've got to decide, is this going to be my YouTube channel, or is this going to be my branded channel? Example, I have, you can see whenever I log into YouTube, I have 2 options here. We got the little ninja. That means I'm in kelli.ninja, but I also have my Kelly Wood YouTube channel. I put a whole lot on my watch later. Man, if you have not seen some of the beautiful 4K videos of just nature and like taking a bike ride on YouTube, you're missing out, man. You know, I keep this so it's all one login. That's what's nice. You don't have to like get another login, another password, but you can create what's called a branded. So if you wanted to create one that is, you know, I've got my Kelly Wood and I've got my kelli.ninja, but you want to make one called History Rocks, as long as that name's not taken, right? Or Professor Prospero, right? Whatever, Math Rules, whatever you want to name it, as long as that name's not taken, you can do that. So my channel is kelli.ninja, right? And I'm working real hard at like branding all the way through. Right? So what you can't see here, and let me just open it up and show you, since maybe it will look a little better. And over here, there's my channel. And so once you have a YouTube account, you have a channel, whether you know that or not. You can get the branded one. So it's like, okay, I want to work versus home email, right? Those things we keep separate. So with the branded, there's a number of things. Let me go back and see what it was I was trying to tell you. Oh, upload button. Okay, my channel's right over here. And this is the upload button. So anytime you want to upload, I went to the upload page, dragged and dropped it onto my bookmarks bar because I upload so much. I just click on that and boom, there we go. And you can go and look at your videos. And then a couple of other things. When you do this, there's a creator studio. These are all in those YouTube videos I've linked to in there. And then you can see playlists. I think I've deleted, did I click on it? There we go. People who make me laugh. Essay format, advice on writing, right? Did you see my long history documentaries, Dr. Nelson? Yeah, oh, see these? I've already made these playlists. This is for this semester. They don't have any videos yet because we haven't had class, but I've already got them ready because there we go, right? And because I can take those links and put those on Blackboard. I can take those and put those in my schedule, and that way they know they're there. So there we go, playlists, and you can look at all your videos you've uploaded. And again, I just always go back to, oh, there it is. There's the new one. Yay, this one was done with the old one. It's kind of bad. So anyway, all right, so where are we going here? Let's see. So those are kind of some things to know in terms of that. Creator Studio I showed. Upload defaults, you can set your defaults. So my defaults, for example, say, what category is it? Education, right? My tags, I have kelli.ninja in there. I have Kelly Wood. I have English with Kelly Wood. I have English 1301. I have English 1302. I have Cool Beans, because by the end of the semester, actually by about halfway through, they're all saying Cool Beans too. Okay. I have El Paso Community College, and that way, every time I upload a video, those tags are in there. I can take them out if I want to, you know, get rid of them. If it's a 1301, I'm probably just going to click on the little X and take out the 1302, but I don't have to type in all the others. And then it'll always say education. One of the other things when you do upload it, when you upload and you click on this upload thing, and let's just look at that, it won't take me all the way through. But yeah.
Yes, for example, right now you're recording, right? But whenever you're in class, you can also do that. Do you need a special permission
for what?
To record during class?
You know, I put in my syllabus. One of my caveats in my syllabus is, I'll open it. I forget what it says, but it basically says I do this. And so, you know, in your instructor policies, this is fall, yes, correct. In your instructor policies, you put it in there. I mean, you can't tell them, you know, you're going to make them wash your car or anything like that, right? Unethical. But that is part of, oh my goodness gracious, this screen is just horrible. But let's see if we can make it bigger. And oh, right there, up at the top, online components. So I tell them, look, we're using Blackboard. You got to use that. I tell them I record class lectures that capture the screens we view in class and the classroom audio. They're there for your review and in case you miss class. They are not a replacement for being in class. And I tell them, look, I taught online for a long time. I'm here because I love to see your faces. Okay, so this is not an online class. The video will be posted on YouTube, available during the semester, linked to class playlist. They're generally posted by late afternoon after class. So, I mean, I put it up front. I made sure and put it up front in my syllabus so they know. And just like any other policy, you have a I don't want to see your cell phone policy. If they're not okay with that, they need to drop your class and sign up with somebody who is, or as I tell them, take an online class. So, yeah, so I tell them, you know, this is the way I roll, and I think that's, I mean, nobody's ever told me here or there, but I know as a student I would want that up front, and that's what I always think of as as a student, what would I want to know, right? And that's what our policies are for, so we don't make them crazy, and so we, you know, they say, look, I didn't like that. Well, you stayed in the class all semester, and you knew from day one. In fact, on my syllabus, you knew right after you knew who I was, where to contact me, boom, number 2, that's it. So they can walk out right then, right? I would be sad. That's what I'd tell them.
Have they ever?
No, I mean, like I said, last semester is the first time I did this full time, you know, all semester. I started it with a mini-mester 2 the semester before and thought, well, I think this is I'm going to try it. Because I've been thinking about doing it for a long time. I'm like, it's one of those things on your list of things to do. And so I've been thinking, I should try it. Yeah, so, but no, nobody's ever said anything. And if they did, I'd say, you know, I'm really sorry. And how many views do I get? My videos will have like maybe 4 views, and 2 of those are usually me. Okay, because I like went to check and make sure I cut it right, or I'm looking to go back to something. And I mean, I put them up there publicly. I don't do them private. I had some problems. I tried that last semester with some individual responses I did to some students in one of the courses, where I thought, well, it'll just be easier for me to sit in my office, do screenshots, and then post the video, and boom, they can go look at it. And I think you have to have a YouTube account to get that, and it was fussy for some people. I ended up just making them all public. I mean, are you really going to go searching YouTube for this kind of stuff? And if you are, maybe you want to learn more about commas, and maybe you will, and I'm psyched about that. I am, right? So that's where I am with that. I mean, it's public, and really it doesn't, you know, I mean, it gets if they ask questions, things like that. And of course, if something sensitive comes up, I'm going to go in and cut it out, right? Because that's, you know, I mean, the one thing I know is I can't have respect if I don't give respect. And that's important in a classroom. And so that's why I am. That's why I was happy to find that little cut program I mentioned to you, because it's easy to take it out of the middle. It's easy to chop it off the ends. So does that get your question? Yeah.
Yes, and about the technology that you use, so you have a clicker that you
Oh, I love my clicker. Yeah, that's just a, I lose it all the time. I'm like, where's my clicker? And of course I can check and see it's got the laser. Are any of you kiddies? Okay. Yeah, this is just a USB clicker. So if you're doing like this, just a web page, but for PowerPoints, or I take the PowerPoints and turn them into Flash and do that, click. And Word, like I read a lot of essays in class, no doubt, at essay class, right? And so I can flip back through it and everything. It makes you smoother, and you look better.
Do you have the brand? I mean, now that you have like.
Oh, we can get that after class. Yeah.
Okay,
so this is one that I requested through the office, and they got me. I have another one that I got when. I think I thought I'd lost the office one, and I was like, oh shit, they're probably not going to buy me another one. and I got it for like $15, you know. So yeah, they make ones that are like, you know, up to 100, 200. Yeah. All right, so when you're going to upload, once you're done with that file, you've clipped off whatever you don't want, right? And you've saved it in that MP4 format. All you're going to do is you're going to drop a file in, and I think I left a test one in here. Let's see if there it is, test. I have uploaded and deleted this video from YouTube like 5 times today because I was getting screenshots of all of this, right? And so what it is, you can see it's processing here, and it's telling me here's what the link will be for my thing. There's basic and advanced, and then description, whether it's public, those kinds of things. Let's go back to the slideshow and see if that's any clearer. About the same. I don't notice anything different. Oh, there we go. Now we can see some words, right? And that's Control plus and Control minus. Remember, it makes your screen bigger and smaller, okay? So yeah, it's public, whatever you're gonna name it. Description here, you're gonna want to put in, you know, if you have any links to give. Like, for example, for y'all, when I upload this, I already have all of these links right here, description, YouTube description with links. So I already have, here's the basic description, and then here are all the links of the, you know, sources, the things I've gone through. So y'all want to go back later and look at this. You might not be watching the video, but you might decide, okay, let me look at those links because I want to check out that one or this software, whatever. So that's where you would put that. And as long as you put the http:// you know, the full hyperlink, it will just put a space after it and it will automatically hyperlink it whenever you mouse over it in the description. Then under advanced, and if you go in and set your defaults on your channel, and when you do your settings, and that's in here, you'll be able to see this clearer later on if you're interested in doing it. Like I said, the slideshow is uploaded too. But category education, well, I set my default to that because that's what I do. I don't allow comments. They want to talk to me, right? I don't want all of YouTube giving me comments. All right, I don't need that in my life, okay? So I don't allow comments. It's just a video. It's there for them. Then, especially for one, if they thought I was actually going to check those comments, they'd be very misinformed because I turned my don't notify me off, okay? I would rather them call me, email me, you know what, come by and see me. I always tell them I have chocolate. Oh my gosh. So, but it's kind of nice to know you can do that. And there are other things, and it will, you know, generate closed captions. Somebody said they're supposed to be like 99% accurate when we upload things. I don't know, in a workshop I was in yesterday, I'm not sure if she meant we were supposed to make sure they were 99% accurate, or if YouTube has shown statistically when they auto-generate the captions to be 99% accurate. So it was a dangling modifier, I do believe. I don't know. I wasn't really good at that one in English class. So once you're all done, though, I mean, it's nice and easy because here we just click publish. This one is actually one that I did while I was talking to my sister this morning, I think. Boom, it's now out there and live, so we can go to it, or I can go back to my channel. Oh, the other thing that I could do is return to editing. The important thing, I forgot this, is it does say down here somewhere, why does it look different all of a sudden? Oh, I'm in advanced, basic info. It does say add to playlist. So if you're doing classes, make sure when you upload it, you tell them, oh, put it in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. or the Tuesday, Thursday 1, whatever. And so that's nice. Here we go. You can see my 5. I think I even cut something out of it for some, like there's no sound because it's just me clicking. I was like, I need a test one. Oh, that's me using Paint to cut things out for the slideshow. And that's it. It's up there, right? If you're going to use the YouTube enhancements, they're right here, so we could go there and clean it up, clip things off, and we can go to Video Manager and you say, oh my goodness gracious, maybe I wanted to edit that and I need to. Well, boom, I can go to Info and Settings and make it private, so that until I'm editing it, nobody sees it. I am like, oh, what did I do? Why was I putting that up there? Oh, I can delete it. It's the end of the semester. And Kelly says the semester's over. No more. She goes through and click, 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 delete, 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 delete. I mean, there's no reason to leave them up. I have copies on my hard drive. Somebody comes back and says, well, last semester and I say, let's go to the video. Nobody really does that. But if they did, I could say, let's go to the video, right? So that's pretty straightforward. In the end, you know, what got me into this is everything I just showed you, which is usually what happens in doing my slideshows. I do have some links again, and I'll show you where the link on your handout is and where to find this on here. So this is at the bottom of your handout, it does say you can visit kelli.ninja workshops. You said it, SWF. That's what this is. And all these links are hot links. So you can go look at this on my website, watch these videos, go to these kinds of things. What really got me into this overall was wanting to do that kind of screen capture and upload the, here's how you format your paper. Here's how those things that I did not have, I mean, I had time to in the classroom, but I wanted to be able to remind them too. And of course, teaching online. I taught online for a decade or so before I said, you know what, I'm tired of it. I can't do it anymore. And so I did a lot of this, and that's really what got me into it. And I started with nothing more than that Electa light, and I didn't even have a microphone. I mean, I'm just using the horrible microphone on my really old computer, and you know, it was what it was. So that's what got me into it. And then I was like, duh, I can just throw these on YouTube. Really, do I have anything to hide? Well, you know, thank God for academic freedom, because sometimes I kind of curse like a sailor, but you know, not all the time. And it's not at them. It's just a joke, damn it. So now you can say it on YouTube. What do you want to ask me? Yeah.
I'm trying to just set up a microphone with my laptop for like a PA type system.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get around the echo?
That I don't know. That I would go talk to him in media services about, or the, what is it, STS, the services for teachers, the TRS, Technology Resource Center. Yeah, TRC. Yeah, Technology Resource Center. I'm going to start it with an S, man. Yeah, I would talk to him there, because that, I mean, really, the end of the slide says, you know, my message is play and practice, because that's the only way I've figured any of this up. And ask the internet. Ask the internet, man. They know lots of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, does anybody have solutions there?
Do you think we could have a part two?
Do you think we could have a what?
Part two workshop?
A part two? What do you want to do in part two? Do you want to do a hands-on? Well, that's what I said when I started. I was really trying to, I was like kind of overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to teach them all this. And I'm like, Kelly, you're not teaching it, you're just showing it, right? So on your handout, it does have, these are all the tools, and these aren't linked just because it's just for print. But down at the bottom, you can view the presentation. So what I clicked through with the links in it is kelli.ninja/workshop/you-said-it.swf. And then I'm going to upload, once we're done, I will upload this to I hope it worked, right? Anybody want to do any more questions, and we can see if I actually did record what I thought I recorded? I have had days where I forgot to record, you know, and somebody will say I missed. I'm like, I forgot to record. It's the breaks, right? Yeah.
Is there any way we could get a copy of the syllabus?
Well, one is you can get a copy of anybody's syllabus, just the same way students can. You know, the House bill, has made it. And if y'all don't know, this is a great thing to show students. If you don't know where to find it, go to current students course syllabi, just like we go to download our syllabi for things. Actually, and it's a great thing to do too, to look at course and faculty information, because the state says it has to be 3 clicks away from the home page. Current students, course syllabi, and then we went to that course and faculty information. So, but they'll also be up on kelli.ninja. I mean, I keep everything there, all of my course stuff and everything. I have a schedules page. They're not there yet. Okay. But so, let's see, spring 2017, and let's select English. Because I mean, like, I was looking at Grace Haddox's the other day because I knew there was something she had in her syllabus that she's like, you know, I hate that, and I have that in my syllabus for them not to use it, not to do this or that, and I wanted to look at her wording. So here we go, and then let's find Kelly Wood. And I do my syllabi on Word, and when you put in your, you know, just hyperlink, and so my students, and I keep it online, you could show your students, here's how you find my syllabi. And then if you do that, then when they go and download it, because it's a matter of public record, once that became a House bill, right? I mean, it's out there. Once they download it, what's nice, and I always save mine, remember Word, you can save as a PDF, so I always save mine as as a PDF. And once they download it, they can, it's going to take me 3 months to figure out if it's spring or fall. Because I bring mine up at the first of every class. I'm like, the first thing I have open is, that's why I got to talk to Jesse. If I'm in this room, here's the syllabus. And you can see I do a lot of online readings. So they download it on their phone, they download it on their computers, they click, boom, it opens, there's the stuff, right? And some of them in here are YouTube videos. I'm like, watch this video, right? It's going to be, there's a quiz, because mine always have quiz 5, quiz whatever, right? So just remember current students' syllabi and then that faculty and course information, and you can look at everybody's syllabi. They're there, right? But also remember, you can use that as a tool for you. And I tell my students, they're like, oh, I've lost my speech teacher. I don't know what. I'm like, I show them, here, you can go get that, right? Which is, I think, one of the reasons it's important for us to make sure we upload up-to-date ones, right? That's my shut up Kelly button sound. Yeah. I literally I already have them set up for all my classes. So what else? Other questions? I'm going to stop this. Let's see if I actually, look, there's a red dot, so I do believe that means I was recording. Let's see, F9.